That ain't no luxury. That comes back on us like a sharp, double-edged sword. It take our head from this point and before it hit the ground, it cut our head again. We are really held responsible for what's happening in society. But we cannot do anything unless we master ourselves. Because there shouldn't be no fear, it should be all courage. It should be a communion with Allah Almighty. We should seek Allah Almighty's guidance through what He sends to us in the person of someone and keep it. So our steps will be ordered. Like when Talut, when they were sent to kill, when they were sent to kill Goliath, and they said, just drink just a sip from the water. Anybody that drink more than that, they're going to lose their heart. And they lost their heart. Only a few of them were able to vanquish Goliath. Was it the water? Was it something in the water? There wasn't nothing in the water. It was the obedience to Allah Almighty. Obedience to Allah Almighty is everything. It transcends time and space and cause and effect. People are running into churches and synagogues and mosques, but they're not guided. There's no guidance. They're not following any guidance. Everybody's on their own little trip, on this whole little Islam and Hislam and Herlam and their Lam and our Lam. Everybody has still got a personal relationship with God. So when Shaitan is locked up, he just, hey, I'm on sabbatical. I'm just going to chill for 30 days. They're going to be the same. When I come out, they're going to be right there the same way. I'll be like, hey, they're going to be right there. Ramadan is only for a few. Few of latter times, few of former. It's only going to be a few that's going to come out of Ramadan gangster than a gangster. That's going to tear this thing up. Going to wear it out. Be known everywhere. Shaitan will have no power over them, but will have power over the others. And your life will be miserable. Miserable. Magnified. Because this is a special Ramadan. We're here. We made it into Ramadan. It's like getting into the ark. It's a safety net. What do we do with this time? There was a time that Bilal, they had about 10 days between the time that they was fighting, they had a treaty, and they had 10 days between when that treaty, they would start fighting again. And Bilal says, you know what? That's a lot of time. We could use that time. 10 days? What can somebody do in 10 days to change the current of events? With Allah Almighty, you can do it in a twinkling of an eye, and you got 10 more days. Where's our Iman? We just talk. We're a bunch of liars. And that's why the society is suffering. We come and go. I don't know. I ain't feeling Ramadan. I ain't feeling going to Jumah. I ain't feeling giving them. I ain't feeling being true to my husband or true to I ain't feeling that. All right, well, do as you like then. Allah will deal with you. Believe me, Allah doesn't forget anything. You can make a promise. Oh, Allah, I promise if you let me out of this, I'll do this. And Allah will bring that right back to your mind. 70 years later. 100 years later. Only ask the people that made promises like that. And Allah brought it back to them. Allah hears and knows everything we think and say and feel. There's nothing outside of Allah knowing about us. So at least have good intentions. Even if we come up short, then Allah sends us guidance and say, no, okay, that was not correct. Boom, here we go. But we're not moving in that direction, and that's why we don't have any effect on the society. There are no Muslims. In name, yeah. People say it, but where are they? Because Muslims dominate. Those who submit their will to Allah Almighty, they dominate. Everything works for them, even Shaitan. How do you think that the Moors were able to establish and to conquer Spain? How do you think the Ottomans were able to conquer Europe? How do you think the Prophet, peace be upon him, was able to conquer the Arabian Peninsula? And those people that were Moors, they were not prophets. The Ottomans, they were not prophets. Who were they? They were people that mastered their egos. They mastered themselves through the guidance that Allah Almighty sent to them. When Allah said, do this, they did it. They did it over and over and over again until it became a way of life for them. Their thinking was laser beam focused. Their health and their strength was impeccable. What is it good to be a believer and cannot have the power to fight for what you believe in? Strong believer is better than a weak believer. They always train, they always gain, they went through the pain to get the gain. That wasn't no thing because they were doing it for their Lord. What happens in childbirth to get here? We got to go through the mother got to go through the pain to get the gain. Difficulty is with ease, so we can appreciate the ease. Haven't we suffered enough? Haven't we been in pain long enough? Haven't we been broke long enough? Haven't we been individuals long enough? Haven't we been kicked by Shaitan long enough? Stand up for yourself. Represent your Lord in yourself. Let the people know who you represent and what you represent. Live for it and die for it. Or go dig a grave and hide now. Put your head in the sand. Represent what Allah Almighty has created you to represent. This being here that's going to come into life in 1961, 62, or 1505, or 1401, or 7, or whatever was going to represent me. When they don't represent, Allah said, don't come back to me. I gave you everything you're going to ever need to represent me on earth. Why didn't you do it? Why did you allow Shaitan to trick you? To be a decadent individual, to be a lying individual, to be a shady, deceptive individual. That's not of your nature. That's Shaitan's nature. You got more joy with him than with me. That's hell. I really don't think we want that. The mercy is that Allah sends warnings for that, to guard against that, if we're wise. So we're asking Allah Almighty for forgiveness. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala khairil mursalin Muhammad Nabi Ummi wa ahlihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We thank Allah Almighty for this holy month of Ramadan, so that we may be who Allah has created us to be, and to fight for that, to bring to the storehouse so the storehouse may grow and feed us. What do you think happened when the time of Yusuf alayhi salam, everybody had to come to the storehouse to get what they were in need of, and as they came to the storehouse, they not only got the physical needs that they had, but they also got the spiritual needs that they had. They need it. We've lost that. We've lost our community. We've lost the village. We've lost our nation. We've lost the community. Because Shaitan has plucked us off individual. Now we're individuals. Bunch of individuals equal nothing. Individual equals nothing. Community equals everything.